I couldn't find the 3DS game, so instead, we're playing Animals Crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Living the dream.
All corny jokes aside, there will probably be a Nintendo Direct in January, specifically January 11th. Now at this time, it isn't confirmed yet, but it's seeming more and more likely every day.
Hey, Zamich. I have exclusive coverage of what's going to be shown off on the January Direct.
No way.
Yes, wait. You want to know what it is?
What?
Animals Crossing! It's this new game.
No. Stop. We're here to make predictions, not make corny Animal Crossing jokes.
And I thought that YouTube video would have gotten me more views.
Well, it didn't, so you're gonna have to live with that. But anyways, with the Direct coming, we're gonna do a few predictions, and towards the end, talk about things we want to see. So, right off the bat, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is online services. I think the Switch online service will fully be revealed, and here's how I think it's gonna work. I think we'll get the actual paid online in March, and it'll have more features, like probably voice chat that isn't botched with a smartphone app. I think that we will get a virtual console sort of service. I think it'll start off with NES and SNES games. I'm not sure if they'll go the GameCube territory just yet. I think that'll be later in the Switch's lifespan. And it's kind of hard to say what else it has in store since we know nothing about it. And the price has pretty much been already revealed, which is like, $26 a year?
Yeah, that's actually a really reasonable price for online pay. To touch on the GameCube Virtual Console, the last update they had, I forgot whose video it was, but GameCube controllers were compatible with the Switch hardware. So that's a sign that maybe it's either a sign that Smash 5 is coming, which is inevitable, or that it could be something bigger and that you could use your GameCube controller for all your GameCube games for the Virtual Console.
Now, I'm sorry to burst your bubble there, but I honestly think that the GameCube compatibility for the adapter was just an accident, and it was to be more compatible with the USB controllers, like that Mario one, the Zelda one they have, because a lot of companies are doing that. They're offering these controllers similar to the Pro Controller that are USB powered, and that's pretty much all they are, except they don't have rumble or motion controls, or amiibo compatibility.
That's interesting. Well, you never know until they announce it officially, so who knows?
So covering online means nothing if there are no games for the Switch. Now, with that being said, I'm going to talk about the two ones I know will be in the Direct for sure, and that is Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi. I think that Kirby Star Allies will get a release date, probably in April or May, and I think that Yoshi will finally get a title and a summer 2018 window.
Yes, I think Star Allies will probably come out around April. I think maybe Yoshi will come out August. So, yeah, I think we'll get a title reveal for Yoshi as well.
Even a solid June release for Yoshi would be good, because Nintendo has this new philosophy where games are released either bi-monthly or monthly, so I think it could be possible to get it in June. After all, Yoshi's Woolly World came out in June in Europe and Japan, but we had to wait until October in North America for some reason, so it's totally possible. And I think it'll have some amiibo, along with Kirby Star Allies getting a few.
Do you think that maybe they'll talk about the new Yoshi amiibos in the Direct as well?
Yeah, totally. I think they would. And I think they'll be kind of like the Yarn Yoshis, but instead of that, they're kind of like a soft plushie.
Yeah, kind of like the TY toys.
Yeah, kind of with this tie-dye effect, but I'm not entirely sure. Alongside that, I think there will be some new game announcements, and sorry to burst your bubble, but don't expect anything major like Smash 5, or any footage of Metroid Prime 4.
Well, I wouldn't say footage of Metroid Prime 4, but maybe an announcement of who's developing the game. But that's it, beyond that.
That's for E3, probably. As for Smash 5, there's a slight possibility, but I'm not expecting it at all. I think that's definitely more of an E3 thing. And along with that, I think this is what will be announced. You know how Nintendo announced Super Mario Odyssey officially in the event last year? Well, that's a huge game right there, and that seems like something that would be announced at E3. But here's what I think is going to be that version for this year. I think that there will be a Year of Luigi 2, and we will get footage of a new expansion for Super Mario Odyssey called Super Luigi Odyssey, which would let you explore in retro kingdoms like Isle Delfino, and maybe the Subcon, more the Mushroom Kingdom, the Bean Bean Kingdom.
You know what would be interesting if, so in that January Direct, when they first announced Super Mario Odyssey, and nobody knew what it was until Mario jumped out of the sewer cap, imagine if they did the same exact thing in a different environment, like that nobody would expect it to be Super Luigi Odyssey, and Luigi jumps out instead.
Yeah, that would be pretty surprising.
That would be like, oh wow, we're repeating the same thing from last year, but it's still kind of different. I think that would be really cool. I was kind of against the idea of DLC for Super Mario Odyssey, only because I'm not really crazy about DLC like that. However, this is Nintendo EAD we're talking about, and if they want to give us DLC as in, brand new levels instead of extra missions on the worlds that we already have right now, with Luigi and maybe like his own little story, hey, I'm all for it. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good.
And the reason why I was against the DLC is because it really hasn't ever been in a 3D Mario game before. In fact, it's never been.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I gotta say is, as long as the DLC is reasonably priced, I think $20 or $15 even better would be a good price point, and it has Luigi and a few new kingdoms, I think it's perfectly fine. And as long as we get Super Mario Odyssey 2, which is, let's face it, it's inevitable, half of the owners who have the Switch have Super Mario Odyssey, I think it's totally plausible.
This is kind of random, but do you think maybe one of the new kingdoms could be Sarasaland and Daisy could appear in it?
It's not entirely out the window, because Super Mario Odyssey had, spoiler alert, the Moon Kingdom and the astronaut costume from Super Mario Land 2. So it could be possible, right. But this isn't where the Year of Luigi 2 ends. I think that we will get footage of Luigi's Mansion 3, maybe a little teaser trailer like they did with Super Mario Odyssey, and then have a full reveal at E3 of what the game's about. And we're not talking about the arcade Luigi's Mansion. We're talking about a brand new HD Luigi's Mansion.
I would love a Luigi's Mansion 3, especially if it took the gameplay from 2 and added the aesthetics from the first Luigi's Mansion. I think that would be perfect. Combine the best of both worlds. Add some new gameplay. Add a little bit of flavor to the gameplay. I think what they should do, though, is go for a more open approach, which I think Nintendo is really adopting right now. Instead of the mission-based approach from Luigi's Mansion 2, they kind of have it structured like Odyssey, where you're traveling through this big mansion, but, you could, you know how Mario could, teleport between, checkpoint flags and stuff like that? Yeah, kind of like something like that, where, you could quickly teleport to different parts of the mansion.
Now, I really like that idea, but I gotta correct you on one thing. Dude, we live in America. Call it Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
I don't know. I like calling it Luigi's Mansion 2. I'm not really... I've never really been keen on the subtitle Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
But yeah, for the Switch, I think we will get a release date for Kirby Star Allies, a release window for Yoshi, Luigi's Mansion 3, a little teaser trailer, and it'll come out later in the year, probably around the fall, just in time for Halloween. And I think we'll get DLC for Super Mario Odyssey, which is Super Luigi Odyssey. And now, I don't expect to see any Smash Bros. Or Metroid Prime 4, but I'll always welcome them.
Do you know if, do you think if maybe Super Luigi Odyssey is announced, that maybe, let's say this is crazy, but let's say right after the Direct, you could download it. Or maybe, around that time frame.
I don't expect that at all. I think it'll be either in March or May.
Oh, no. I'm not sure about that. maybe, I don't know, maybe. We'll have to see, but I think that at this point, Super Luigi Odyssey is kind of a given. But there is one thing that I really wanted to talk about. I think it's for 3DS, right?
Apparently.
Okay, so there's been rumors swirling around about a brand new top-down 2D Zelda game created by the team behind, well, here's where it gets a little bit messy. Some rumors say that it's from Grezzo, who made Majora's Mask 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D, but some people say that it's from the team who made A Link Between Worlds, which is Nintendo EAD. So, nobody really knows who's developing it, but what it is essentially a remake of sorts of Link's Awakening using the engine from A Link Between Worlds. And the thing that kind of worries me a little bit is that one of the rumors were saying that they were trying to go for a more open approach after Breath of the Wild's success, which is why it got delayed to this year. What are your thoughts on it, Dimitri? Like, I would love a new top-down 2D Zelda, but I'm not really sure how... Like, I like open world, but I'm not really sure if that would benefit to 2D Zelda the way it does for 3D Zelda.
Now, with that being said, I like 3D Zelda more than you do, and you like 2D Zelda more than I do, but I think it'll be either inspired by Link's Awakening and be called Link's Reawakening, or just be a remake. Now, what I think they mean by the openness is multiple paths you can take. I don't think it'll be as open as Breath of the Wild, but I think that it's entirely plausible. Now,
because what I don't want them to do is like make it 3D. You know what I mean? Like keep it as it was before, or like make a sequel to Link's Awakening, and like you said, call it Link's Reawakening. I mean, that would be cool either way. But yeah, as you were saying,
I think it'll be I think it'll be the swan song for the 3DS, and that'll be the last major first-party release, because the Pokemon series for the 3DS is done for. They're moving development to the Switch. I really can't see any new major Mario games coming to the Switch, so that's what I think its swan song is going to be.
Well, I think that's actually a really good swan song to end on, because A Link Between Worlds is my favorite Zelda game ever made. Take that as you will. I think it's a fantastic game. And kind of like a semi-sequel to it, in a way, in the form of a Link's Awakening type of quote-unquote reimagining. I'll take it. I don't care. I mean, I don't play my 3DS enough anyways, so, you know, one last game, why not?
Yeah, and I want it to be for the Switch, but even for the 3DS, I think it's a good going-away present for 3DS owners, and we gotta move on to the Switch now. Along with that Zelda game, there might be a Skyward Sword remake. I don't know if it'll be announced in the Direct, but that's pretty much all it's gonna be, an HD remake.
Where did you hear this from? This is news to me.
Well, when I heard Grezzo, it kind of sounds like they're working on a Skyward Sword port, because they already did one for Twilight Princess, and every Zelda game has been remade except for Skyward Sword.
Okay.
So that's plausible right there.
You know, it could work, because Skyward Sword had a lot of problems with motion control on the Wii. Maybe that could be fixed for the Switch. I'm not saying it would, but, you know, who knows? I mean, maybe it'll be fixed, and maybe there'll be some more compatibility. Skyward Sword wasn't particularly my favorite Zelda game.
I've never played it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It was alright. Not my favorite. I do like the aesthetics and the storyline going for it, but, you know, for the fans of Skyward Sword, I think it's a good investment. I mean, Twilight Princess HD did pretty well on Wii U.
But yeah, and to sort of end off the video, I'm gonna just say it, we're gonna see new amiibo and new controllers for the Switch. So we're gonna get some new colors, maybe some green ones for Yoshi that aren't mismatched, pink ones for Kirby, gold ones for if there is a Zelda Skyward Sword HD, or just gold ones for the heck of it. And we might see new ways to play the Switch, because why else do you think they would make them detachable if they're not going to do anything with that concept?
That's right. I was going to ask, if Super Luigi Odyssey is a thing, do you think we'll get a Luigi amiibo? And maybe a Daisy amiibo if my Sarasaland theory is correct?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yes, that would be so cool.
and predicting that Bowser's gonna be the villain. There's no way in hell they're bringing back Tatanga or Wario even.
Unless Super Luigi Odyssey is taking place at the same time Super Mario Odyssey is going on.
And Waluigi's a villain. But it's kind of hard to say, so let's just recap. There will be an online service announcement, maybe Virtual Console, GameCube's highly unlikely, a release date for Kirby Star Allies, a release window for Yoshi, along with a title and new amiibo. I think that we will see Link's Reawakening, that's what we're going to call it, maybe a Skyward Sword remake, some new Weeb Switch games, a look at Fire Emblem, which we really don't care about, but it's fine if you do. Accessories for the Switch, new amiibo. So let's talk about the things we won't see at all. Super Mario Odyssey 2, Mario Kart 9, Smash 5. That's pretty much it.
Smash 5. I know everybody wants to see Smash 5 in this Direct, but it's not gonna happen. I mean, the thing is, last year was the same thing. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna announce a Smash 5? Are they gonna announce Smash 5? I'm like, no, they're not. I've been saying since last year, they're not gonna say anything about Smash 5 until E3 2018.
But that's a different video for a different time. Well, anyways, exactly. I'm Demeech.
And I'm Ty the Guy 2800.
Go play some Animals Crossing while waiting for the Direct.
Living the dream.